big story today comes out of Kashmir. It's a super exclusive and it has national resonance. Viewers, when Article 370 was abrogated, opposition parties said spitefully that the seeds of Kashmir's secession from India have been sown. Some said in times to come there won't even be one person to hoist the national flag in the state or the Kashmir Valley. Today, exactly 3 years to the day when the Parliament of India voted in favor of a resolution tabled by Home Minister Amit Shah to revoke Article 370 of the Indian Constitution, the opposite is happening. In fact, in a state where once vested interest bullied citizens from hoisting the Tiranga, Times now has visited a factory where the tricolour is being mass produced for mass circulation, not just in Kashmir but also beyond. Kashmir's first Tiranga factory is a rebuke to all those who oppose the psychological and political integration of Kashmir with the mainland. On your screens, viewers, are those visuals. A number of patriotic Kashmiris have taken it upon themselves to spin this story, evocative story, historic story of patriotism and nationalism. They are using their dexterous hands and, of course, all their skills to sow the national tricolour. The one symbol, the most visible symbol perhaps of Akhand Bharat. Today, viewers, that symbol is in the hands of ordinary Kashmiris. What an absolute watershed event, a seminal event this is turning out to be. Viewers, here is a report from Kashmir's first Tiranga factory dedicated to the nation.
Demand of tricolour this year in several parts of India. One primarily because this year call has been given that every household should hoist a tricolour because the nation is celebrating 75 years of independence. In Kashmir, similar scenes are being witnessed, and this is one of the centers here in Bandipur where a local NGO has come to help of those who want, tricolours. They are providing it free of cost. They are being helped and supported by locals, and then they make these tricolours every day here. They say at least 5,000 of them they have supplied already to different locations. This primarily because they feel that there could be a shortage of tricolour because people are demanding them. And that is why they want to make sure that there should be no gap left in between. And they are supplying this particular material after making these tricolours here at the center of this NGO, and then supplying them to different districts of Kashmir Valley, and to make sure that these tricolours reach everybody who wants them, and there is nobody who is left out, so that the call that has been given that every household should hoist a tricolour as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Now listen, viewers, to those running the factory and how they aim to ensure that there is no disruption in their output so as to meet the growing demand for the Tiranga in the valley.
आज जो ये हमारे इसमें देश में चल रहा है आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव on the 75th anniversary of Independence Day, तो इसी के एवज में ये तिरंगे का जो आज आप यहाँ पे देख रहे हैं बन रहा है, उसी के एवज में हम ये तैयार कर रहे हैं। और श्रीनगर के इसमें हमने बहुत यूनिट इसमें ये हमने और बना के दे के रखे हैं। लेकिन अब ऐसा है कि हम नहीं चाहते हैं कि तिरंगा इस देश यहाँ कश्मीर में इस वक्त कम पड़ जाए, तो जितना हमसे कोशिश बन पड़ती है तो हम एनजीओ इसमें पूरा बढ़ चढ़ के हिस्सा ले रहे हैं। हमने तो एक्सपेक्ट किया हुआ है कि हर घर तिरंगा ही रहे, यही एक्सपेक्टेशन है। मोर देन 5 to 10,000 हमने ये अभी तक प्रिपेयर किए हुए हैं। तो हम नहीं चाहते हैं कि कहीं कमी रह जाए.
There should be no shortage of tirangas to hoist from atop every home, says that patriotic lady working in this particular factory. Viewers, that's the spirit. That's the spirit that has gripped Kashmir. Just a few days ago, the Prime Minister changed his social media DP to the image of the tricolour under the aegis of the Har Ghar Tiranga program. He also urged all citizens to follow his lead. But the opposition instantly mocked the initiative. The Congress said, and I want to show you this three-window, viewers, that we put together for you. The Congress said it was going to follow suit, but only by carrying the image of the tricolour in the hands of Prime Minister Nehru. Mehbooba Mufti said she would hoist the national flag, which as a Kashmiri, she said, was a state flag, was her flag. Several other opposition leaders sought to politicize the initiative. Viewers, listen in to what they said.
तिरंगा जो है पहले खादी से बनता था, अब चीन से आने लगा है. तो ये तिरंगा हर घर तिरंगा की बात नहीं है. हर घर चीन का झंडा. ये तिरंगा चाइना से आ रहा है. मोदी जी को क्योंकि चीन से ज्यादा प्रेम है, तो जितने भी जो है 90% झंडा चीन से आ रहे हैं.
देखिए, आरएसएस के हेडक्वार्टर पर झंडा कब लहराया गया था तिरंगा? देश जो जानता है. क्या 48 में लहराया गया, क्या 49 में, 50 में, 60s में, 70s में, 80s में, कहीं पर नहीं लहराया ना, वो बाद में लहराया. तो हमको वफादारी का सर्टिफिकेट लेने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. एक बात समझिए, तो भारत का मुसलमान है, वो बाय बर्थ और बाय चॉइस इंडियन है. वो आपको नहीं है राइट, वो हमारे को है. वो समझा करिए, एडवांटेज हमारे पास है. तो और हम जब पैदा भी हो इसी ज़मीन में, मरते भी इसी ज़मीन में जाते हैं, तो अब हमको वफादारी क्यों सर्टिफिकेट लेने की जरूरत?
बीजेपी की पॉलिसी पर नहीं चलती.
लेकिन आप क्या मानते हैं कि तिरंगा से आपकी राष्ट्रभक्ति की बात हो रही है कि आप देश को कितना प्यार करते हैं तिरंगा को लेकर? आपका क्या बैठ के कर लेंगे? बैठ के कर,
हम देश को अपना देश मानते हैं और देश की इज्जत करते हैं, देश का भला चाहते हैं, देश की तरक्की चाहते हैं.
वो बोल रहे हैं
वो
कि
सिर्फ झंडे से देश की तरक्की का नहीं होगा. देश के अंदर जो काम होने चाहिए उससे मुल्क तरक्की करेगा. 75 साल हम भी मनाएंगे, हम कब मना कर रहे हैं. आज़ादी के 75 साल हमने भी कुर्बानियाँ दी हैं. मुसलमानों ने अपनी फांसी के तख्तों पर झूले हैं और सीने पर गोलियाँ खाई हैं और सारे मुसीबतें झेली हैं.
Let's open this up, viewers. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, a mega tribute is being paid to Akhand Bharat, or the idea of Akhand Bharat. It is expected that every home, Har Ghar, will hoist India's Tiranga. The question is, will the opposition finally end to this endeavor? I want to first go straight across to Sanjay Jha, member of the Congress party. Mr. Jha, the Prime Minister says, look, we are going to celebrate the Maha Utsav of our Azadi 75th birthday. I urge, I request all citizens to change their DP to the Tiranga. He says that on that day, India and Indians should take pride in associating with the most visible symbol of our nationalism. The Congress instead says, yes, we will, but they float this, and I'll show it to you, viewers. They float this picture of Jawaharlal Nehru holding the flag. Here also, viewers, the flag is pegged to the idea of dynasty, not desh. Sanjay Jha, that's the criticism coming your way. Respond.
Okay, Rahul, first and foremost, I'm sure all of us on the show, on the panel, the viewers, everybody is very proud, patriotic, nationalistic, call it what you might. that India is going to celebrate its 75th anniversary. So let's not debate all that. Now, let me answer your question very quickly. If you look at the leaders who were in the forefront of India's freedom struggle, whether it is Mahatma Gandhi, Pandit Nehru, Maulana Azad, Sardar Patel, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, I mean, you had eminent people, and I'm very proud that all of them were associated with the Congress party, some not entirely, but for most of their political career. I'm very glad that for a prime minister who said Congress Mukt Bharat, he was basically insulting these very freedom fighters who made India free. That is where the Congress has been very upset with the BJP's political hypocrisy, Rahul. You are asking for the destruction of the ideology that the Congress party stood for, which is, by the way, enshrined in the Indian Constitution. How can a party, Rahul, that says Congress Mukt Bharat, and GVL, when he speaks, he's a very good friend of mine, he will say, no, the Congress has now become part of the Gandhi dynasty, etc., etc. Forget it. The truth is the Congress has an ideology which has got nothing to do with Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi. It is why I am there for the party even if I'm suspended. Why there are millions of workers who fight for the party on the streets. My second point, Rahul, how can you actually celebrate Nathuram Godse, who killed Mahatma Gandhi, who, by the way, if GVL, I'm sure, knows it, Mahatma Gandhi inspired Barack Obama, inspired Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela. People have talked about the Congress party being the foundational principle on which the battle against apartheid was fought in South Africa.
But Mr. Jha,
and India's Prime Minister ridiculed this very party.
Why are you
to make a symbolism of a flag?
Why are you turning a solemn tribute to the Tiranga into a political opportunity to fire pot shots at the RSS? Why politicize the Tiranga? Let me ask you, you say that, okay, the Congress party has an ideology and that showing Mr. Nehru with the flag in some ways calls upon the commitment of our freedom fighters to that ideology. So let's just go over some facts here. And these are all hard facts, viewers. I'm not cooking up anything. In 1951, as the Prime Minister of an interim constituent assembly, not an elected one, an appointed one, Nehru introduced the first amendment which curtailed free speech. How is that, viewers, in consonance with the values of a republic? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar became estranged from the Congress. Why? Because he felt that the Congress was no longer representing the values that he thought are enshrined, that he in fact wrote into the Constitution. In 1959, Nehru's government overthrew the elected left government in Kerala. Yet, viewers, the Congress says that they are going to fly the flag with an image of Nehru. In 52, going back, let me point out, he allowed dynastic politics to thrive, giving a major role to his daughter Indira Gandhi. These are all facts. Am I wrong?
Rahul,
what did that do? What did that do? One second, sir. What did that do? You give the party, you transit the party, you prepare the grounds for a transition on the basis of what? DNA. Viewers, in 52, Mr. Nehru jailed lyricist Majroo Sultanpuri, or his government did it. Why? For penning an anti-Nehru poem. I thought freedom of speech and expression is guaranteed in our constitution. In 1962, Chinese origin Indians were imprisoned en masse during war. They were suddenly suspected of being informers. Sanjay, these are not the values I think anyone wanted to found the republic on. So why is Nehru being held up as this great prop?
Well, Rahul, a short answer.
Or why is the flag being held up as a prop in the hands of Nehru? What are you trying to get at?
Yeah,
just put out the flag. What's the big deal?
Let me give you a very quick answer, Rahul. To all the viewers of your program, and I know there are innumerable number of them, I would request them to kindly Google and read the speech of the Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru on August 15, 1947, the Tryst with Destiny speech. It's a landmark speech. It, by the way, Rahul, is considered to be one of the greatest speeches ever
Mr.
made.
Jha, did he live up to every word?
Of India.
Did he live up to every word?
Liberal, progressive, tolerant
No,
India.
no, did he? How is it liberal when the First Amendment, you see, in the United States, the First Amendment was to make free speech absolute. Here in India, our First Amendment was to fetter it.
Well,
Viewers, I don't know what Tryst with Destiny he was
Rahul,
planning.
you were coming out of partition.
Let me bring in GVL Narsimha RAO. GVL Narsimha RAO, even in Kashmir today, and Times Now has shown those pictures, and I want Nizam Bhai to put those pictures out. Even in Kashmir today, the same Kashmir that everyone said after 370 there won't be a person to unfurl the flag, in that Kashmir, in that very Kashmir after 370, in fact tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, General Bakshi is also here on August 5th. 3 years ago, viewers, Article 370 was abrogated. Today, look at the pictures coming from Kashmir. No one is holding the flag with the emblem of Nehru. They're holding the flag for what it is. The most visible, inalienable symbol of our republic. Look at these children. They're marching with the flag. Look at the number of children standing there. And there are factories dotted across Srinagar making the flag. GVL Narsimha RAO, I want to ask you, what is your response today to Sanjay Jha when he says that the BJP is not the custodian of nationalism? Who is the Prime Minister to tell us whether we should change our DPs or not? Respond to Sanjay Jha. What do you believe?
Rahul, good evening to you, all the panelists and the viewers of your channel. I think the whole nation is going through a fervor of patriotism. Millions of people have responded to Honorable Prime Minister's call to change their DPs to the national flag. And there are rallies happening. There is Har Ghar Tiranga campaign, which BJP, if we wanted to take political advantage, we could have made it a party campaign. But this is an official theme, official campaign of the government of India under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav banner. Why is the Congress party? Because its political fortunes have dipped in the last few years or the last few decades. Why is the Congress party turning anti-national? And why do they need to put dynasty over the nation? See, Jawaharlal Nehru holding the national flag could be an appropriate occasion any time, but today you want to tell the country that for us the dynasty comes first, nation comes later. That is where the flag, the family comes first, flag comes later. Only if the family holds the flag do we accept that particular kind of nationalism. This is highly objectionable, contemptuous. And now today you see this fervor. Why is the Congress party acting as a spoiler? What has the Prime Minister, did he tell only the BJP cadres? He or the entire country? And now look at the DP of my friend Sanjay Jha. I don't know, on the Twitter he has, I don't know if this is Rahul Gandhi's Pidi. This is his DP. Sanjay, I think it's your personal choice. I cannot comment. I can certainly comment on this. I don't know, are you showing any loyalty or is this your own pet? I don't know. But come on, at least this is your
Congress says, the Congress says that when the RSS, which is the parent...
He mentioned something, let me answer him. 1 minute.
Okay, answer.
Let me answer him. GVL, please do not make mockery of my personal emotions. That was a 12-and-a-half-year dog who I think is better than many human beings I have known, who died a year ago. Please do not make mockery of my family's emotions because we treated him like a child. Okay? Please don't get so disgusting and repugnant. That is the problem with the BJP. Okay. That when you stoop low, you become absolutely cheap, crude and vulgar. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't play around with my emotions here. Okay?
Sanjay, I just wanted to know if this is also some loyalty. Okay, if you are a lover of a pet, I'm not mocking it. You are saying the whole nation is accepting a DP. No, It's only an
No, but
urge.
GVL
I'm only
Narsimha
asking you, why can't
GVL
you
Narsimha
join the
Rao,
nation?
1 minute.
was
Other
not- You don't
elements
want
in the
to join?
Congress party. One
You don't
second, let
want
me
to-
just come
you
in here.
don't
Gentlemen,
want
let's
to
not
join the
personalize
nation?
this.
He was not
In
reaching
celebrating
people.
Okay,
it, it's
GVL
up to you.
Narsimha
He was
Rao.
not dividing people. He was
GVL
creating
Narsimha Rao, the Prime Minister has
learn
only
something from him.
urged people.
Your
1
party
second.
and the RSS could learn something from him.
Okay, 1 second. Okay. The Prime Minister has only urged people to change their DPs. He hasn't ordered anyone to do so. There is no compulsion to do so. But I want to ask you, GVL Narsimha Rao, because the
can't.
Congress
He will
party...
not.
1 second. The Congress party has come out and said that even the RSS has not changed its DP on its official Twitter handle.
Because the RSS did
Okay,
not
so there
celebrate the
was
national
a
flag
statement
for
coming
years.
from the All India Prachar Pramukh. No, before you criticize anybody, Sanjay Jha, please, you join the bandwagon and then you comment on this. You have otherwise no right to do it. Number one. Number two, All India Prachar Pramukh of the RSS has given his position, the state RSS's position. There is a clear directive to the entire cadres of the Sangh to participate in the celebrations and to join and to participate in Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav event. The Congress party, if you follow the Prime Minister's advice, then you have a right to question. You are promoting your family. You are promoting a leader. You have not even put Mahatma Gandhi's photo. What prevented the Congress party?
The BJP is saying his
to
viewers
say,
that
okay,
just
we
a
will
few days
celebrate
ago,
Father of the
just a
Nation.
few days ago, there was a massive rally, a Tiranga rally that was organized by the government, and we found that the Congress and other opposition parties boycotted it. General Bakshi, what do you make of this? What do you make of this? And I want to ask you this because there is an initiative to fly, to hoist India's Tiranga on every home. Har Ghar Tiranga is the endeavor. The Congress is taking a leave of absence, saying that you don't have to tell us. We will do it ourselves, whatever you want to do. You don't have to tell us when, how to pay tribute to the tricolour. What do you make of this position?
Look, Rahul, rituals tie us to our origins. This is the 75th anniversary of the independence of the Republic of India. And if we do in unison, if all of us take part, you know, it is a great psychological boost. It integrates the nation if on that particular day we are all involved in one activity which, you know, underlines and emphasizes our nationalism, our identity as a nation state. I don't see what is there to object in this. On these days, I thought we have a bipartisan consensus. I mean, I haven't seen any American party oppose the celebrations on the 4th of July. I haven't seen that happening in any other democratic state. I don't see why we cannot have a national bipartisan consensus that on matters of national security, on matters that concern national celebrations, we speak in one voice, we act in unison, we act in accord. When 1.4 billion Indians do the same thing at the same time on the same day, you know, it has a great psychological impact of engendering unity, of engendering harmony. Whether Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, people of all political dispensations, colors, creeds, language, religions come together in a common activity of hoisting the national flag. I don't see anything more logical, more rational than doing that on the 75th anniversary of the Republic. Why should there be controversy? I fail to understand.
Let me ask.
You know, I mean,
Mr. Kashani.
How can you have a controversy on the national flag on the 75th anniversary of your independence? I thought we sink all our political differences, religious, linguistic, creed, all kinds of differences, to come together, to act in unison, to participate in a collective activity. You know, even watching a cricket match with the Indian team playing, you know, painting your faces with the colors of the Tiranga, that engenders a kind of a collective consciousness.
Okay,
which
collective
goes to a
consciousness.
collective unconscious.
Why should there not be a
which
national
unites.
bipartisan consensus was acting in accord on issues related or events related to the nation? Mr. Kashani, what's the problem? In your own Kashmir now, there are factories coming up, and I've got these pictures for you, especially for you to see, because you were one of those who said there won't be anyone left after 370 is abrogated to even hoist the national flag. Here we have visual evidence, and Mr. Bhat is also here with us, who's done so. Mr. Kashani.
So, Rahul, I am not the spokesperson for the PDP. You should ask this question to PDP.
I'm not asking the PDP, I'm asking you.
There will be nobody to...
I'm asking people like you who doubted the endeavors
This is the
Indian state and the patriotism of ordinary Kashmiris.
This is a welcome step, but at the same time, the government of India should ensure that if the people of Kashmir have taken a step ahead and participated in this activity,
no, I want to ask you, Mr. Kashani, I remember your words on Times Now. I remember your words. Should I pull them out? Your words on Times Now was that 370 is a body blow to the ordinary Kashmiri, that it is a body blow to the idea of the Kashmiri state seceding to India. This is what you said.
No, see, I am asking the BJP spokesperson that what initiative they have.
Sir, you need to answer this question. Well, why then are ordinary Kashmiris, if nothing has been done for Kashmir and Kashmiris, why are they today proudly, not only holding up, not only hoisting, but also manufacturing, making, weaving the waft and weft of this nation into a tricolour? I'm asking you this question.
This should definitely send a strong message to people like General GD Bakshi, who have always questioned the nationalism of Kashmir.
What are you talking about?
Questioned the people of Kashmir.
General Bakshi, respond. He says you're questioning the patriotism of the ordinary Kashmiri, and you've done this forever.
Excuse
this
me.
is what he's saying.
He used the word the nationalism of Kashmir. There was Mehbooba Mufti, no less, who said कि तिरंगे को कंधा देने वाला कोई नहीं मिलेगा, खून की नदियां बहेंगी. After that, you want me to give you certificates of bleeding heart nationalism? Look, there are people there who have violently opposed the Indian state, yet they want the Indian passport because it gives them self-respect. When they go out, and when you apply for the Indian passport, my friend, you have to tell us that you have to sign that I stand by the integrity and sovereignty of India. You see, and questioning Kashmiri nationalism, of course the bulk of Kashmiris are nationalists, but there is a handful there, and all those so-called centrist parties are the hotbeds of that sedition. You heard of the Hurriyat conference? You heard of an organization called the Hurriyat conference? Did you ever see the way their houses became from humble hutments to palaces? You know, the way they were receiving money from the ISI, from Hawala, from cross-border trade, the way they were trying to act like a government in waiting. And then you want me to certify them as nationalists?
Look at the way this man is trying to change the... look at the way this man is trying to change the narrative. Listen to the way this man is trying to change the narrative. No one is questioned, sir. We've saluted. We've saluted our Kashmiri brothers and sisters who've laid down their life in the service of this nation. Don't talk rubbish here. Don't talk rubbish here. It is people, sir. It is people in Kashmir of a separatist mindset who've gone out there and killed those people. They've beheaded those poor sarpanches. They've gone after all those people who have stood and saluted the national flag. And what have you done about it? What have you done about it? One second. Let me bring in Mr. Bhat. Let me bring in Mr. Bhat. Don't today try to be too clever by half, Mr. Kashani.
No, you should ask the BJP what to ask.
No, what is there to ask? The proof of the pudding is in its eating. There are people there who are very happy with central rule for the moment, And there they are voicing their gratefulness by actually putting together the national tricolour and sir, distributing it. You must have heard that lady. She says, we don't ever want to have a situation here in this state where supply, one second, can't match up to the demand. That means there is a demand. 1 minute, let me bring in Mr. Bhat. Sahil Bashir Bhat. Sahil Bashir Bhat, you have a gentleman called Mr. Kashani, who is today trying to do a U-turn, a massive U-turn.
No, there is no U-turn.
No, 1 second, let him answer you. Let him answer you. Mr. Bhat, would you like to respond to Mr. Kashani?
Yeah, Rahul, see what these people have done from last 30 or 70 years in Kashmir, it's really very disgusting. First of all, let me tell you, these are the parties and these are the leaders who have introduced radicalization in the Kashmir, who have just, forced hate out of anything like nationalism, idea of India. They have given that kind of hate to the youths and the people of Jammu and Kashmir. These are the people. These are the people who, time to time, when they were, campaigning for their vote bankings, they were asking for self-rule. They were asking help from Pakistani stooges. They were asking help from, Hurriyat people, separatist groups, for their votes. Even after getting help, they don't even ever crossed more than 2 and 3% votes. These people have been rejected by the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Recently, you must have witnessed and seen when the ULB elections were held, more than 37% of the people came out for the voting and they were nowhere counted in the list. And all the people, many of the majority of the leaders who came out were new faces. We believe in the idea of India. We believe in the idea of one nation, one constitution and one flag. These are the persons who always play the controversies over the flag of flag for Kashmir.
Why are you heckling? I want to ask you a basic question. Mr. Kashani, answer this question. If you're true to the values of the Republic, I want to ask you, do you support the abrogation of Article 370? Yes or no?
No, we don't.
No, we don't. There you go, viewers. Anyone who wants to bridge the gap, the psychological and the political gap between the valley. No, 1 minute, Don't try to today, sir. I have asked you a direct question and you've said, I reject the values of Indian Parliament. India's Parliament, 1 second, sir. India's Parliament. Do you respect India's Parliament, yes or no?
Yes, we do.
Well, if you do, then don't you know that Indian Parliament, 1 second, it's India's Parliament that resolved to scrap Article 370. Where's the debate? Where is the debate?
Party leader told that party leader told that he is supporting Article 370. No one can bring back Article 370. These are the words. These are the words from the Apni party leader, Mr. Altaf Bukhari. Let Kashani know this. Mr. Kashani, your leader's voice, your leader's statement is that no one can bring back.
GVL Narsimha RAO wants to come in also. GVL Narsimha RAO, yes.
How can you?
GVL Narsimha RAO.
How can you cross?
Yes.
Rahul, all those who were misleading this country and the world, and after the abrogation of Article 370, people of Jammu and Kashmir have actually started experiencing the real freedom. All parties like PDP, Jammu Conference, in the name of Kashmiri nationalism, they have exploited them. They have corrupted the entire administration. And if there is one gift Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi has given to this country before 75th year of independence, it is the abrogation of Article 370. The Nehruvian blunder. What is a monumental blunder by Jawaharlal Nehru has been corrected. The first Prime Minister committed a huge monumental blunder, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has set it right before 75th year. So salute the Prime Minister.
Okay, gentlemen, 1 second. Let's not speak over each other. Samajwadi Party leader Sameer Singh is also here with us. Mr. Sameer Singh, I want to ask you, General Bakshi, who served in Kashmir, who has fought in Kashmir against those traitors who have undermined the Tiranga, sir, says, why can't there be bipartisan support for endeavors such as this? For an endeavor like Har Ghar Tiranga. Why? Sameer Singh, I want to ask you. And while you're at it, also tell me, do you support the abrogation of Article 370, yes or no?
Rahul, to answer your question, before answering your question, I'd just like to open my statement by saying that this moment, the 75th year of independence, is a moment of pride, not just for myself and my party, but for every citizen who considers themselves Indian and who believes in the idea of India, the democracy, the constitution, and anybody who says otherwise is actually disrespecting the Tiranga and the idea of India. Coming back to what you were saying, what your question was, Samajwadi Party has never, in fact, you must have heard that a statement that has come up recently, that Samajwadi Party is organizing a Tiranga, hoisting the Tiranga Abhiyan, which is supposed to come up begin from the 9th of August, which is the August Kranti movement of historic day. So we are not against the Tiranga. Nobody is against the Tiranga. Nobody is disrespecting the Tiranga. But the situation here is that if the central government or the BJP or the Prime Minister is conducting a campaign, then why is it necessary for every political leader to join the bandwagon? Because and when we do that when we say that we have never been against
viewers, this gentleman, no, hang on. Samajwadi Party spokesperson Sameer Singh, again, viewers, not presenting the full facts here. What are we celebrating on the 15th of August? General Bakshi, let me come to you with this question. What are we celebrating on the 15th of August, if not the Akhandita of our country, the unity of our country? But the Samajwadi Party has a problem with Article 370's abrogation, viewers, which integrates Kashmir into the mainstream.
Rahul, firstly, I thought a bipartisan support implies that the nation is far above any party. The sum total of all the parties also are a little less than the nation state. So on a very special occasion, like the 75th anniversary, we sink our inter-party differences and we celebrate a national endeavor. What is wrong if every single, I would say if there are 1.4 billion Indian flags unfurled on the 75th anniversary of our independence? That's number one. Apropos the issue of Article 370, may I remind our people of what the framer of our constitution, the most respected Dr. Ambedkar, had said. Nehru had sent Sheikh Abdullah to Ambedkar Sahab to get Article 370 framed.
Okay.
He heard him out, and you know what he said? He said, you want the people of India to pay for your roads, your school, your bridges, your dams, your hospitals, and in return you want them to have no rights, etc., to buy property in Jammu and Kashmir. This is treachery.
Okay.
And I, as the law minister, will not do it. This is the framer of the Constitution.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Please hearken to these words.
Absolutely.
What we have removed is that anomaly, that blot upon our Constitution.
Sameer Singh, your boss, Akhilesh Yadav. Your boss, Akhilesh Yadav, came out and said that rivers of blood will flow. I have his entire quote here, right in front of me. As Article 370 is abrogated. The integration is what we salute. The unity of this country is what we salute on Independence Day. And sir, you are trying to tell us that you want to run around with the Tiranga in your hand to prove some point. You're using the Tiranga as a political prop, and that is very, very sad. Very, very
No,
sad.
Rahul,
because if you had no problem,
definitely not. No, this
did you all attend 2 days back the Tiranga Yatra in Parliament? Yes or no?
Rahul, did every
Tell me yes or no. Answer me yes or no.
Parliament of the BJP
Samir Singh Sahab, answer me this question. Did you
Rahul,
not
you can't just
attend or did you attend?
Force questions on you. No, we did not.
Why?
No, we did not.
Why? Why?
And was it mandatory?
When Parliament organizes a yatra, you have a problem with that. Don't you take oath on your constitution?
Rahul, can you just give me 30 seconds to answer to your question?
Go ahead.
See, the Tiranga Yatra was a symbolic yatra which was organized by the Ministry of Culture, from what I know. And every member of parliament was invited to that yatra. But even the BJP MPs and members of the government did not attend that yatra. So are we questioning their loyalty?
Samir Singh, the BJP was represented. In fact, 1 second. The BJP was represented. In fact, there was even a MP who has been fined for not wearing a helmet. Thankfully. What are you talking about? You didn't even attend it. You boycotted it. Why did you boycott it? That's the fundamental question. Why?
Rahul,
if you value the Tiranga so much, because you see, viewers, they boycotted it because they all want to take out their parallel political party orientated sponsored rallies. Why? Because they all want to compete. It's become a competition. Why should it be a competition?
There should not be. And what's
well, there you go. So if the Prime Minister of this country, your Prime Minister, is inviting you to participate in an endeavor, do so. That is exactly what General Bakshi is saying.
Rahul, I just asked 30 seconds of your time to answer to your question and to put forward my point of view. Since the Tiranga Yatra is being discussed, the Tiranga Yatra that was carried out a couple of days ago, there was a narrative, so it was a symbolic yatra, and the opposition, I can say from the Samajwadi's point of view, see, if you did not attend a function that was a yatra, a function that was a government function, then the broader symbolic picture is that we are very proud that we are in the 75th year of our independence, but we are also sad that the 75th year of independence today coincides with the country's situation.
Sir, you can keep making. You see, if you want to turn Independence Day into a occasion to point score and find fault, then sir, it's your choice. I am only putting some questions out there. We've heard you. You have a problem with Article 370, the abrogation, which facilitates the akhandata of this country, only increases it. You have a problem with joining. You have a problem with joining a Tiranga rally in Parliament because you believe that. Okay, well, sir.
Our nationalism can be different from BJP's nationalism.
Okay, what is, sir? How can there be a difference about? How can there be a difference from? No. How can there be a difference about holding and hoisting a national flag? I don't understand. The national flag is not a political party's flag. अरे भैया, भारत का झंडा है. Have you forgotten?
So. No, I haven't. But why is it being made that it's the Prime Minister?
I don't understand this. I don't understand this. Maybe viewers, maybe I don't look at nuance, but I don't know, viewers. When it comes to the national flag, I thought that each stripe represents a value that we all subscribe to, irrespective of our caste, creed, political allegiance, and on that one day we suspend it all. Why? For the larger interest. You can go back to the trenches, you can fight each other the day after, but on that day, in fact, viewers, it's a national holiday, it's even a dry day, to instill sober reflection on how our freedom is serving us to build a better India. Viewers, think about it. How can there be anyone who says that, oh, our version of nationalism is different. All we are talking about is holding up the national tricolour. Think about it, viewers. I'm going to move on.